Happy 2022, ladies! Welcome back to the channel. My name is Marin, and this is Thankful Thriftiness. I apologize in advance. I'm in my office, and the office chair I have is really squeaky. So if you hear squeaking noises throughout the video, that's what it is. First of all, shout out to my art teacher, Miss Linda, who made this beautiful mug. It's even got like a thumb rest. This is the perfect size for my hands. It's perfect like beverage size, and I swear it makes the tea taste better. So thank you so much for this. For today's tea time, I'm drinking Earl Grey tea with a little bit of maple syrup to sweeten it and some raw milk cream that someone brought me recently. It is so good. This is double strength Earl Grey, so I get double the flavor and not double the caffeine, which is important because your girl can't handle much caffeine. Ask my mom, she'll tell you. All right, so it's a new year, and a lot of people have just started New Year's resolutions, whether that be that they're going to work out for a certain number of days a week, or they're not going to eat a certain food for the rest of the year. I mean, the possibilities are endless. It could be project-oriented, goal-related, relationship-related, you name it, people do it. I'm going to share with you why I don't necessarily agree with the New Year's resolutions idea. Not that I'm judging anybody who does. If you do it and you can stick to it, good for you. I've just found that for myself, it doesn't really work. And instead, I'm going to share with you some easy ways to implement habits throughout the year rather than resolutions and just goals. So my number one reason why I don't do New Year's resolutions is that they tend to fail. You might not be that way, but for me personally, I find that by February, I'm pretty burnt out. Generally because maybe the scope of the resolution is too big or something along those lines. And when I set a goal, I like to accomplish it if I can. And it was just kind of frustrating that I'd get burnt out or other life things would come in the way. I often find that they are very hastily made or there are too many resolutions made, and priorities change throughout the year. It's what happens. That's life. And I think that with New Year's resolutions, often they're just a blanket statement where if we found ways to develop habits, it could be a little bit easier to accomplish goals. Some other issues I have with New Year's resolutions is that they can tend to focus too much on self-improvement where other things might need to be more of a priority in your life. And they can sometimes hold you to something unnecessarily. Once you start, and especially once you get far into the year, you might feel like I've got to finish strong. And it might not be something that you have to actually do. There might be other things that rise in level of importance, and you don't want that to get in the way of it. Now, obviously, there are things like reading your Bible more often and praying more often, stuff that's super important. How about you don't start January 1st? How about you start December 5th when you decide to do it? You know what I mean? I feel like waiting for that specific day might help get you amped up and excited to do it, but if it's something that important, start today. Like, start right now. I'm now going to show you some of the ways I work on getting goals and priorities out of my head and actually start doing them, which frees up brain space for creativity, for developing more goals and relationships, all sorts of things, where otherwise our head just kind of gets muddled up with all these things we are so mad at ourselves that we're not doing. Number one, get a planner and use it. This has changed the way I think it's freed up so much brain space and energy. When you write something down, you don't have to spend the time to remember it, and you don't have to spend the time worrying that you're going to forget something. There are lots of different planners out there, really inexpensive, and you could use anything. You could use a piece of note paper and just jot down your schedule for the day, or even just goals you want to accomplish in a month and a week. It could change your life, I'm serious. I like planners that are organized by month and then by week, and so I can write down my monthly goals and then break it down throughout the weeks and work on actually getting those pieces done. It's also very helpful for meal planning, which is another tip I have for you. If you are the woman of the house who is responsible for getting meals on the table, use a meal planner. Please, I'm telling you, it will save you so much brain space. And I know I keep saying that, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to come up with better words for it, but I'm serious. Like, freeing up brain space leaves room for you to do all sorts of things. I like to do my meal plans on Sundays, which allows me to know what I will need from the grocery store and also only shop once a week, which also frees up a ton of time. And also, I don't like going to the grocery store, so it's kind of one of those dreaded tasks I only have to do once. It's pretty nice. Whether you're new to meal planning or you've been doing it for a while, I've included a link below for you where you can download a free meal planner template. I've included space for you to write down what you need to eat up that week, your shopping list, and also meals for every day of the week. This is just the format I like it in. Feel free to try it out. It's free, enjoy it. If you don't like it, then you can come up with your own way of planning it out. The world is your oyster. The next tip I have for you is to keep in mind priorities and reprioritize as time goes on. Sometimes you need to reprioritize once a week. Basically, I find that whenever my head starts to get muddled and I start to get stressed out about things I need to get done, it's time for me to sit down, relook at what my goals are for the month, year, week, and just reprioritize what is the most important thing for me to get done. I find that this works at work too, when I'm given a list of things to get done and I just ask them, okay, tell me what is the number one thing that I have to get done right away. And it really just helps things fall into line. And if you can just keep yourself on track with going through the priorities rather than getting distracted, I think you'll find that it helps with the mental stress a lot. One thing that could be helpful whenever you think of it, or as it is the beginning of the year, you could do it right now, is sitting down if you're married with your husband and asking him, what are top priorities that you want me to either get done this year or that you want me to just keep in mind around the house or life in general. For my husband, when I asked him, his answer was laundry. He hates doing laundry. He'll help me with everything, and honestly, he'd help with laundry too, but he really hates doing laundry. And as simple as it sounds, it's something that frees up brain space for him and for me, just knowing, okay, this is what I need to make sure if I get nothing else done today, that there isn't a pile of laundry downstairs. Establish routines. Routines free up brain power, mental capacity, and they allow you to move throughout a portion of your day and just get things done, and you almost don't even have to think about it. You could have a morning routine, an evening routine. There are so many ideas online of routines that you can do. Basically, the gist of it is write down your priorities of what you need to get done at whatever time of the day, and coming up with a schedule or a flow of how you want to accomplish those tasks. The most wonderful thing about routines is that they eventually lead to habits being established. And I think overall that's what I'm trying to get across, is that obviously there are big projects that you need to get done in your life, but overall I think we're all looking to have better lifestyles with better habits, better tendencies, and establishing routines can really help lead into that. It's a good pathway to habits. For example, if you want to work out more, maybe you add to your evening routine that you set out your clothes for the next day to work out in, and then in the morning you work out for 15 minutes. One of the most important things with habits and routines is starting small. I think that there are definitely times in life for like drastic changes, but for the most part, these things we want to add into our lives, it's so helpful to start small, build up stamina, build up those routines until it's a part of your life. I was talking with my boss recently about a big project that we have at work that will take multiple people. It will take some time, but we needed to get it done somewhat soon, and it was kind of intimidating me, and he gave me an awesome piece of advice, which was, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. We're not eating elephants at work. Don't freak out, okay? But I think you get the point, is work on it slowly. Take little bits at a time. If you poke at something a little bit every day, eventually it will get done. For my personal life, I found having a cleaning schedule made is very helpful for keeping me on track with keeping my house tidy. I have it set up to where every Monday I sweep the floors, every Tuesday I clean the bathrooms, Wednesday I think I sweep the porch, and so on. And then every Saturday I do a bigger clean of the kitchen, and I also have it broken down into every weekend of the month there's a task I need to get done, and then there's quarterly tasks. And I don't really stress too much about housework anymore, which is kind of crazy because at first like the cleaning kind of intimidated me. But when I found that I just picked at it a little bit each day, my house stays somewhat clean and I don't have to use brain power or stress to get it done. Give yourself grace and realize that priorities change. Don't be ashamed if you're talking to someone who knew about your New Year's resolution or your goal and they ask you how it's going and you tell them, well, things have changed and now I'm more focused on this. It happens. It's not good to obviously be all scattered all over the place, but there are times when things change, and being flexible, I think, is more valuable in some ways than being too stoic and sticking to something that isn't necessary. Going back to one of my issues with New Year's resolutions. I know in the past when people have asked me about it, I felt guilty, and sometimes it was rightfully so, like I should have been keeping up with whatever the goal was, but most of the time it was just a self-inflicted guilt. Something I am trying to take in and learn right now, which is focus on using my time wisely instead of focus on getting everything done and having the output that I want. Because truth be told, what I want to get done is what I will never be able to get done. And if I live in a constant state of anxiety and stress over not getting those tasks or whatever accomplished, I'm going to miss out on so much in life, and I'm not going to be honoring the Lord with my time. Actually, not my time, the time He has given me, the time He has asked me to use wisely and to glorify Him with. See, that's why I got to do these things. You just saw that happen where my brain slips and starts thinking it's my time. And that is the sixth tip, is to write your plans in pencil and hand God the eraser. Do you know how hard that is? Like, I don't want to hand anybody the eraser. I want to get done what I want to get done when I want to get it done. And that's not how it works. My life belongs to Him. He redeemed my life. My life doesn't belong to me, so my time, my efforts definitely don't either. And I need to continually be giving the Lord my hopes, my dreams, my plans, and saying, God, these belong to you. Even if it's something He's given me, He can just as easily take it back. And it belongs to Him anyways. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this has given you a little bit of a glimpse into how I like to accomplish things throughout the year. And hopefully this will help you whether you've created New Year's resolutions or not. Let me know in the comments below what's a resolution that you created for this year or a goal you want to accomplish in 2022. And do not forget to click the link below to get a free download of your own meal planning template. Have a wonderful rest of your day, ladies, and I'll talk to you next week. Cheers.